Hello my YouTube friend, this is Not Mechanic here, and today I'm working on a 2014 Dodge Durango. And what I'm going to be doing today, I am going to be replacing the front brake pads. When I'm always doing brake jobs, the first thing I do is I put the emergency brakes on. I also choke the back tires, and then the next thing I do is I loosen the cap in the master cylinder and I put a paper towel. That paper towel in there, we call it the Timmy towel. And the reason why we put that paper towel is that when you press the caliper pistons, the brake fluid is going to go up and you don't want it to fall into the car. So let me just show you what I did with the master cylinder, and then we're going to remove the tire and start this job. The master cylinder is right here. I didn't have no paper towel, so what I did was I loosened it up and I put a rag there for the brake fluid to come out. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to jack up the car. Please make sure that you use jack stands and the jack. So let's take off this tire and start this job. To remove the tire, I'm going to be using a 22mm socket with my impact gun. I'm going to remove the tire now. Once I remove it, I'm going to move the wheel this way. Now that I removed the tire, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this way, not this way. So I'm going to take the power steering and I'm going to go that way. Now that we rotated, it's much easier to see what are we doing. So the first thing I want to do is, these things right here has some dust caps here. There's one here and one in the top. So all you have to do is you take your screwdriver and right in the side of it, you just pry it out. And there goes one in there. Now the second one is right in the top. Right here. You do the same thing. You remove it. Now behind there, we're gonna need a hex 10mm. And we're gonna go right in here where we took the dust cap at. And when I did the other side, this thing got stuck on me. I'm hoping this one doesn't get stuck. So all you do is just put your 10. Oh, this one is much better. And once you loosen it up, you just start loosening it up like this. Now I'm gonna loosen the top one up also. Here goes the other one right here. And you can see the hex 10 right in there beautifully. You can see it right there. And all you have to do is just put this in here, right in, and start loosening it up. Once you loosen it up, you want to take, you probably will have a better tool than me, but so all you do is now is just start loosening it up. You loosen that one up, and then you go to the one in the bottom. And once you loosen these up, both of them, you see this right here? You just take this and you can pry it back once you loosen it all the way. Try not to block the camera. But you notice, every time I rotate, it keeps getting loose. There you go. Once it's loose, you can just keep pushing this all the way back. And you see how it went back? we're gonna be taking this out and greasing it up. Let me take this one out so you can see how it looks. So this is how it looks right here. We're gonna grease it up. You take the one in the bottom also out. Once you loosen up the one in the bottom, you do the same thing with the screwdriver and you pry it out. I'm taking them out because I'm gonna grease them up. All right. Now let's take this little bracket from the front out. Now we're gonna take out this retainer here. I want you to see how it goes, for you won't forget how it goes. You see this curve here goes right in here and this over here. I'm gonna show you once I take it off. Now, there's no easy way to take this off. I'm gonna show you the way I do it, but make sure you have safety glasses on because it's gonna fly. This is what I like to do. I go there and then I take it out. It didn't fly this time, but I hold it. So now all we have to do now is pick this up. You don't want your caliper to be hanging for nothing. I'm gonna put it right here, right on the top. And there you go. I'm gonna put it right here just to hold for a second. Now this caliper is a double piston. It has double piston. So I don't have the tool for the double piston. So what I'm gonna use is I use a C-clamp and I do one thing at a time. So what I do is take my C-clamp and I put it in there, the small one. I put it right in here. See right there? And all I do now is just so what's gonna happen is, you see how I'm pressing it? So while I'm pressing it, it's gonna go in. The pistons are gonna go in. What I also can do is, I'm using this C-clamp. I'm gonna use another one. You can use a big one also and put it here. So this is what I did. You can see I have the big C-clamp right here on this piston right here, and I have the other one here. So what I do is, when one goes in, and I take this one goes in. It takes a little longer, but little by little, brake jobs should not be rushed. These are important parts in cars. Once I put that, take the other one. Once you see that they're all the way in, you can look right in here and see that they're all the way in. You can remove these things. There it goes. Now we're gonna start removing the brake pads, and these are very easy. So all you have to do is just pull it like this, and you can see the orientation it goes. Let me find the other one. So there goes the new ones. You want to put it the same orientation you got this one. And it goes straight in. And all you got to do is just press it in. That's it. Now we're going to remove the ones in the bottom. So now we're going to remove these here. As you can see, all you have to do is just pull them out like this. Now, let me show you. See this right here? This and this just slide right in the metal. Look, just like that. That easy. Look. Put it again. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up with some brake cleaner. So clean it up. Good to do with a brush. I don't have my brush, so I'm going to just try to clean it as best as I can. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take some grease. We're just going to put a little bit here because that's where the brakes are going to be sliding. As you notice, they don't have no hardware, so that's the way it came. There you go. So now we're going to take the brake pads. There goes. There goes the brake pads. Remember what I said? All we have to do is just slide it in. Look, right in. Right in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the caliper piston down. Now when you bring it down, you want to make sure that this right here, see the grooves? You want these grooves to be right in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is just I'm going to push it down. Now you want to take these sliding pins and clean them up. You can see how the hex go in there. Hex 10. Clean it up good. Take the other one. Now you're going to put some grease in it because you want it to slide. I'm going to be using a brush. You want to make sure you put enough for the brake path can slide easily. Once you do that, we're going to put this right in the hole where it goes at. There you go. Put it in. Just tie it up a little bit. You can see every time I tighten this up, you can see right in here, this going right in. Once you feel it tight, just hold it. Now we're going to do the bottom. Make sure you put grease on the sliding pin. And all you have to do is just make sure it goes in through the hole. There it goes. Once it goes in, you just make sure you screw it back in. What you're gonna do is, wanna go just a little bit more. And you're gonna do the same thing I just did to the top one. There we go, nice and tight. Now, don't forget to put the dust caps and the oil right here. This is how it looks. Just push them in. That's all you gotta do. There goes one, and then just put the one in the bottom also. That's it. This part's done. Now let's put that retaining bracket from the front. Okay, so here goes the retainer. Remember what I told you? This bottom part right here with this C shape here goes in the bottom right here. These things, these little pins, they're gonna go right in here. So you may need a screwdriver. So what I do is I put these in first. You see how it went in? Then what you want to do is put your caliper pistons in, and then there you go. They are in. Now what I like to do is I like to hit it softly. Make sure they are in. Make sure this is in. There you go. Make sure they're nice and tight. They are in, and you have finished the brake pad. Now, what we're gonna do is now I'm gonna press the brake pads at least 10 times, and what's gonna happen is that the brake pads is gonna get tight. If you don't do this important part, what happens is if you try to drive and you haven't compressed the brakes, it's a possibility, there's a big chance, a 100% possibility that you're not gonna be able to stop. So because your brake pads has air on it. So make sure you press the brakes at least 10 times until you feel them hard. I don't know if you heard that, but when I was pressing the brakes, you heard like air. Like when I pressed it like 3 times, there was still air in the system. And then when the brake pad started getting tight, that air went away. And this is the reason why also we put the rag in the master cylinder. See all that brake fluid? If this rag would not catch it, it was gonna go in the car. So this is how you replace the front brake pads on a 2014 Dodge Durango. So once again, this is Now Mechanic. If you have any comments or questions, please post them down below or contact me on nowmechanic101@yahoo.com. It's nowmechanic101@yahoo.com. And remember, if Now Mechanic can do it, you can do it. Later.